Okay, hey, Eric, dude, I was just going to show you some technical work on Bitcoin itself. So, back down here, this is the beginning of the year, 2017. All right, and these trend lines I'm showing, this basically, I'm looking at this top trend line because we've created this channel, and it stayed within this channel for a while, and when it dropped down and then reverted, that channel line became resistance. A lot of times that resistance stays resistance for a while, but it didn't. It was pretty quick to break back through, and now it became support, right? Anytime that something breaks through a channel, through support, bounces up, and then pretty quickly breaks back through, it just shows strength. So now we're back into this same channel that had been in most of, first half of the year to July. And then we're back through it again in August, and we've been staying in this channel, and then we went down and touched the exact same spots. These are all parallel trend lines, and I didn't have this trend line there. I didn't have this trend line there until it touched it a second time, and then I just checked to see, is it parallel to the others, and it is. So so this was just this past mid-September. China's news, Jamie Dimon's news, bingo, down below 3,000, and it came back and it pushed through this trend line again fairly quickly. So lots of strength. Now this is where it was hovering. New news, Jamie Dimon reverses, China reverses, bam. All right, this is a 6-hour chart, so we're only looking at about a day worth of movement right in here. I didn't mean to do that. The top of this trend line right here is usually where it goes. It goes and visits the top, visits the bottom, visits the top, sometimes breaks through, but currently this is the steepness of the channel that it's been hanging. If it goes up here and let's say it intersects, if it intersects today, it'll be at 5,700. If it intersects tomorrow or next week, it's going to be 5,780, pushing 5,800. A lot of times it will break through and then come back down. That's called a fakey breaky, right? But sometimes it doesn't quite make it. Either way, this is a point that if somebody's long and they're hanging on to, especially with margin, they would sell, and then others would sell, and then it would create the cascade, and it can come down, bounce off of it again, just like it did here. Sell, 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 bounce right off of it. Come back up a couple days later, sell, 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 bounce off of it, finally break through. This is like a wall that a wrecking ball is hitting. Hit it, break it down, finally go through. Well, same way on the upside. Hit it, come up, sort of attempt, finally break through, and now it's a wall, and so this is how I trade. And you can see some of the trades. I buy when there's a dip, I sell when it's falling, and catch a little buy. I sell some more when it's falling, sell some more when it's falling, and didn't buy at this point, and but did when it came down and did this little double bottom. I started buying again. Came through, started buying again. This is on a Carnegie. So I'm saying that it's going to come in this area, and it's going to come back down into this area. I'll be a buyer down here. I'll be even more of a buyer if it comes back down here. Lots of support in this area, medium support in this area, lots of resistance right here, and one of these days it's going to break through this one. It's hitting it. It's a wrecking ball. Bam, 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 bam. Made it through a little bit here. If it does that, we'll go up to this next trend line, which will be up here in a I keep making these damn blue lines on. So which is, if we follow through on this trend line. And then it's going to be heading towards 7,500. You know, it doesn't look much like a bubble when you have it spread out like that. Hang on, I'll move this up. But if you zoom into an area like this, it just looks like it's going straight up. Anyway, so that's chart work on the Bitcoin. Now, on Ethereum, I haven't laid any stuff on here. Here we go. Here's Ethereum. So Ethereum's making a classic triangle. And here, that's a horizontal line. I want my trend line. Whoop. Whoop. It's going to have to break out of this triangle. This is the big triangle. Let's see what here. See how they just sort of hit. I mean, I just came down and grabbed this one. If I brought it down any further, it's probably, yeah, okay. So that looks like the point. So we got this triangle, but inside this triangle are wedges. So remember, we're looking at, this is a 6 hour. So this is this is just to August. Oh, no, here's the beginning of the year. I'll spread it out a little bit. Yeah. Okay. So the beginning of the year. Like right here, there's a lot of resistance in this area. But the wrecking ball's hitting it. It's broke through, went up to, and started this trend line, this downward trend. Right, and now it's hitting it, and so we want Ethereum. It needs to bust through. If it busts through, it's going to find, it'll find the next resistance there, and then a little bit of resistance. If it gets past that, it's going up here. Okay. Here's another one of those wedges. That's pretty bullish. When it's an upward wedge against the flat, it's hitting the flat, it will pop through. And now we're going to be heading up to, if it gets up to this top trend line in, say, in one day, it's going to 375. You can see my price line right over there moving. And but it's not going to do it like that. It's going to be more, up a little bit, pause, move, up a little bit. So now we're talking about 355, 360 if it hits here. And then it's going to have either a wedge going on in this area, right? And you're sort of with me here. It can come up. Let's just say it breaks out in the next day or so. It's going to pause a little bit. And if it breaks out, it'll go up to this trend line. And then, it can get stuck in that area. Or come back through, head down, and then if it does that, then we could potentially go below 300, right? Or back here into this 300 zone. There's lots of support in this area, so probably closer to delete. Let's delete that one. Delete. The more you look at these charts, the more they. Alright, well, I'm having problems deleting this one right here. So, but in a nutshell, this support right there, that's going to be a wall it has to break through. A lot of times these triangles make 5 touches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then it's close to breakout time. So if this is bullish flag, which every one of these bullish flag, made a triangle, broke out, great big triangle, or if you can see it, there's a great big long triangle right here, and it broke out, and it made another triangle right here, broke out, made another short triangle right here, broke out, triangle right here. If you zoom into these, you'll see exactly, damn it, I've got to get off of this drawing mode. Here we go. You zoom into these, you'll see that the Ethereum likes making these flags, these little triangles. So as long as the triangle, sometimes it can go up, make triangle fall, but not when the trend's up, and the trend's up. So you can see in the past that it's done these small triangles. Well, but what we're looking at right now is a giant one. Okay, they usually make 5 touches before they break out. Let me see if I can confirm that with you. Let's look at this small triangle right here. Hit the trend. Start at the top, go to the bottom. Start at the bottom. Trend. Go to the top. And I hit that again. My stock trading stuff easier to work with, or I'm used to it. So up 1, down 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then it just 1, 2, 3, 4, and then it broke out. This one broke down, right? Another little triangle right here. You look at it from here to here, it went up, 1, 2, 3, 4, break up. So I'm always looking for the break. Right now we've got a giant triangle or a giant flag that's on 1, 2, 3, 4. What do we do? We'd probably go into this area, that would be 5, and then it can hover. Which way is it going to break? Bam or bam? I know which way I want it to break. I know which way the trend tells us it's going to break. And I know, Eric, if I was to ask you, you said, well, I think it's going to break up. And if I asked you why, then I'd give you the same answer you'd give me. You know what? The world is heading this way. I believe that too. Trading stocks, looking at the exact same technical stuff, you never know what's going to break, so you're quick to react. I want you to check out this one trade I did. Hang on a second. I'll go back. So when Ethereum, oh, it's going to clear this dang thing. Oh, I can't clear it without completely refreshing it. Come on. Here we go. I don't know why it's showing me the Bitcoin chart. Okay. What a mess. What a mess. When I made a sell up here because it was hitting the top of this trend line that I had drawn in from back, I don't know, and I'm not going to draw it in, I'm just talking. Somewhere in here you'll see this red arrow where I sold. I don't see it. Maybe that's it popping up. And it came down and hit that trend line, and you can see I bought all the way up. And then just hung on to it, and that's when we went to 400. And then I started, once it finally broke this support, I started selling. And I'd buy when it turned around. Get a little spooked out, and I sold a little. So that's what I do, man. Those are my trades. I buy them and sell them based upon technical only. I really don't watch the news because it skews me. Because there's times when the triangle, we always want to think it's going to go up, and it goes down. So I sort of just, yeah. All right, anyway, I'm yakking. That was for 14 minutes and 38 seconds. Yeah, I wish I was showing you this on my TradeStation platform, because it's just easier to use, easier to for me to maneuver and put my lines in, and I don't, whatever, that's just my pride. Fuck it, I don't give a shit. There you go. Coinigy, Bow, Scribbles, some technical trading I've done. Enjoy your day. Oh, by the way, on Coinigy, I don't know if you remember, you can go to the different, you can make favorites and go to the different exchanges. Now, I'm not part of Liquid, but Liquid has in its portfolio of currencies Salt. So now I can go to the Salt chart. Let me open it up and put it on a 1 hour. So I was arguing and saying that it didn't get to a certain price. No, that was AVT. So when they started trading on Liquid Salt, then pretty much this is the price action. 750, that's where I bought at. Down to 215, back to 750, and this was all in, that's a day, 2 days, two more days, 2 more days, 2 more days. So now we're making this, my trading tells me that we're making a curve, and it could create a cup and handle. Comes up here, makes another jog down, off to the races. Maybe, who knows. So that's Liquid, and then I favorited the Hit BTC because it had MadeSafe. So I own a little MadeSafe, and I'm not sure if I need to be owning it. I bought it in this area, and I'm just getting, there's some support over here, and there's a wall to bounce off of right there. So I got a little bit of a fall to do before I decide to bail. And of course GDAX, and then Bitfinex, I was able to get my OMG USD chart. So there's a OMISGO, OMG, and it also has some support in this area. But if it breaks below this, I'm gonna trade out of it until it finds support, because the support's not till down here. Now I'm buying it at 350 again. Can't really see my trades on here because I didn't use that exchange to buy it. If I used that exchange to buy it, then you'd see arrows and it'd show you where my trades were. And then Bitfinex also has AVT USD. And this is where I was arguing with you. Well, they only, this particular exchange only started trading it when? On the 10th? On the 10th? So 2 days ago. So you're right. I went and looked at a different chart, and it did make it up to that 4 something that you were saying, and now it's failing. So now I've been yakking for 18 minutes. Blah blah blah. Oh, Poloniex. Yeah. So I'm a Dash owner, and its charts fairly interesting because it came down, and really a lot of people sold it back up, and we'll just see what this thing's doing. It's at resistance, and it's going to have to come up and finally break through and head the other direction, otherwise I'm out of it. And Monero, same thing in dollar terms. You know, I'm sort of done riding this one down. I bought some in the middle of September, so I'm not sure where I bought it, but I'm close to breaking even again. And if it goes below this point right here, I'm out. And then Ripple, or XRP, has got a very bullish looking chart. I like this chart. It's created a bowl. It could go ahead and create a cup and handle. A cup and handle just makes a cup, and comes down here and makes a handle, and then it takes off. It's just a classic trading pattern that traders look at. But right now, it's broken through this resistance, and it's making a little triangle, broke down, it's making a bigger triangle. We'll just see. There's a big conference going on this weekend, swell. So we'll just see how Ripple goes. If I upload this to YouTube real quick and send you the email, if it's helpful, tell me, and reply to my email. Say interesting, say, Bo, you're an egomaniac, or anything. I don't give a shit about. I like feedback, you know. I'm not going to post on Facebook, so you can't give me any likes. I'll give you one of my wallet numbers, and you can send me a donation. All right. Eric, 20 minutes and 30 seconds. I cannot believe I've been talking that much. Holy shit. Signing out. Goodbye.